Would you like to take a go?
Yes, I'd like to say this. It's win, 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 win. And I counted that, and you can check the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links app because all the survey responses there, that is genuinely what he said.
Well, he is one win away from that.
That is true.
So we're beginning, you all. I'm so excited.
Shelmy is starting off with Link Dark Rays.
Okay.
Taku is using Dumon. I didn't see the Star Seraph skill activate, but oh, there it is. Baryon Battle Morph, the Baryon's White Shield.
Okay.
So he is using the Star Seraph skill, and he's activating it to play a Star Seraph monster to his field face down, along with one from the deck, choosing the Scout. Now, we have seen this before. He put 2 monsters face down, anticipating Shelmy is using Sky Striker because of that skill that activated at the start of the duel, thinking, I don't want him taking a monster with Widow Anchor. But the last time we saw this, we saw the Sky Striker player summon Hayate, increase its attack points to 2,300, and then equip an equip spell that allowed it to attack twice and win. So we will see if Taku has better luck.
It is what makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, those powerful skills, because, you know, duelists may be saying Sky Strikers in Duel Links, but this is not your everyday Hayate combo, because using the skill allows you to power it up, and then that direct attack twice with that equip spell, that is game in this situation, and so that we may see a repeat of what we saw yesterday.
So terraforming for Area 0 is a great start because it puts a spell in the graveyard, and then Sky Striker Mobilize Engage allows Shelmy to get another Sky Striker spell card. He does use Area 0, destroys Shark Cannon, and gets a Widow Anchor to his hand. Now he has 3 spells in the graveyard, so he can use Sky Striker Mobilize Engage.
Oh, Widow Anchor.
Luke says that always wins.
Luke's favorite.
He adds multi-roll to his hand and gets to draw a card for having 3, and he has a 3rd.
Wow.
Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. He hasn't even summoned Ray or used Kagari yet.
Just sculpting that hand.
Amazing.
And
There's only 8 cards left in his deck, and this is the first turn.
And Sky Striker is really a big brain deck. We've talked about this in the past, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of technical play and a lot of interesting interactions.
How do you think these 2 decks are going to line up?
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, if Shelmy uses that combo, where let's see.
Well, as you're looking that up, looks like we're seeing the Sky Striker mech modules multi-roll. Go ahead and get rid of the Area 0 there, and the Area 0 will bring out Sky Striker Ace Ray, everybody's favorite.
Aw, Ray. We love Ray.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Shelmy is actually using that equip spell that would allow his Hayate to attack directly. But even without that way to sort of cheat the victory and attack through the face-down monsters, he did have a very powerful opening with 3 copies of Engage. Now he's able to use Kagari to bring one back and activate yet a 4th copy.
With no soul release in sight or anything like that, I mean, it means his entire Sky Striker package is working at full power. Having those 3 spells in the graveyard that early, we know what it looks like. We've seen Sky Striker across Master Duel, across the TCG. Now we're seeing how powerful it is in Duel Links thanks to that new Ray of Aura set.
I also feel like we're starting very methodical again. It's very interesting, Steven, you said this at the beginning of the broadcast, that we're seeing both of these competitors slow things down. You know, they're tiptoeing, right? This is the finals. They're desperate to win.
Well, it's kind of a stealth mission, right? You want to make sure that you don't accidentally trip off the alarms and give away what your strategy is to your opponent. You really have to creep on in until it's that moment. So
it's time to strike.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Shelmy adds jamming waves to his hand with the effect of the Engage. It's not particularly relevant now because it destroys face-down spell and trap cards, of which there are none right now, but he does get that extra draw with Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. But it might be a little bit hard for him to deal damage through these 2 face-down monsters because Sky Striker decks frequently keep 1 monster on the field, and it's Hayate who can attack directly, but without that equip spell combo to allow him to attack twice, I don't think he's going to be able to seal the win this turn. So his best hope is to sort of overwhelm Taku with his advantage of having more cards so that when he makes it back to his next turn, he's able to win.
They're not coming out blazing at this point. It's definitely a little bit slower.
Right, because
it progresses.
Taku had set those monsters, I assume, to defend against Widow Anchor.
Certainly makes sense there with the Shizuku too, setting up for the end phase more so than a direct attack, but we're going to go ahead and see him attack the center monster there, getting rid of a Star Seraph and getting to activate the Shizuku during the end of the turn.
Yeah, so he goes for the Scout. I think the other face-down card is a Sovereignty, which can only be used in an Ixie summon of 3 monsters, so I think that's a smart choice there. He is going to use Eagle Booster also in the end phase just to allow the multi-roll to trigger and set another Eagle Booster.
For those watching at home, to either of you, with the Star Seraph deck, it is all about getting the materials.
Absolutely.
Right.
There's a lot of TCG fans who will remember Star Seraph, Sovereignty, and Scale, and everything else in the package, being able to put powerful Xyz monsters out really fast. But in this case, Dumont used that Baryon Battlemorph skill in order to set those cards from the deck. So it's not necessarily that all the resources are gone. This could be Taku's moment to come back.
Okay.
So the skill is a once per turn skill rather than a once per duel to play a Star Seraph from the hand and a Star Seraph from the deck. So Sky Striker is a weird game. The matchup's actually interesting because Sky Striker, as the game goes on, is typically gets more cards and improves its position. But the Star Seraph deck can use the skill each turn as well, so it's really not falling behind. And that's kind of what we're seeing here, where he's going to use the first part of that skill to set, it looks like, Scepter from his hand and another Scepter from his deck. And both Scepters can activate when 3 monsters are used in an Xyz summon, each effect destroying a card and drawing a card. So it is a powerful play, but we'll see if Shelmy is able to stop a 3-material Xyz summon.
Well, as Luke always says, Widow Anchor solves everything. Because it's true, though, having to get those monsters face up. Now, here's the thing. Taku had to know that, right? With all the different searches from the Sky Striker deck facts, you kind of know what you're getting into, so this seems to be the follow-up play.
Taku had not yet used his normal summon. That's what's so strong about the skill. It fills the field with monsters before doing that, and his normal summon happens to be a Scepter, so he is still able to destroy up to 2 cards on the field with their effects when he makes a 3-material Xyz summon. Now, the Shizuku is now protected by the Eagle Booster, so we'll see what happens.
We are creeping along right now.
Very steady gameplay.
The pace is so different than what we were seeing yesterday. You know, we were seeing some of these duels just ending within minutes sometimes. Everyone has a different mindset today.
Yeah, Sky Striker tends to slow duels down.
And Sky Striker, yeah, we're talking about the spell deck, right?
That's true on Master Duel, that's true in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, and that's true in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel.
Sky Striker takes little bites, little dainty bites of your life points, but it looks like we may be taking a bigger bite now as that Baryon Battlemorph skill is getting the last material there, and the rank up Magic Baryon's Force.
I'm just waiting for this Ixie summon, because when that happens, things are going to get nasty.
It's happening right now.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, so he created the Sovereignty for a scale to put that in the Ixie summon instead, perhaps signaling that he has another Sovereignty in hand he wants to summon. But he also did get the rank up Magic, which maybe we'll see him use later in the turn.
Oh, when I start to see this happening when I'm dueling, my heart falls into my stomach. You know, I'm just like, no, but the attack reduction, right?
Well, speaking of the heart there, Taku getting a little bit of a smile on his face, kind of starting to feel himself in this duel.
Yeah, I mean, he just destroyed 2 cards and grew 2 cards with the Deltaros's effect that was granted by the Scepter.
Aww.
So that's a huge swing. And look at the number of cards in these players' hands. This is turn 3.
This is not Rush Duel.
Right?
Look at it's unbelievable.
So
using,
we ain't rush dueling, but
but it feels like with the hand sizes there.
He used Deltaros's effect to destroy Deltaros.
Interesting. Perhaps wanting to clear the monster off the field or not worry about it, but 3 set
I like the back row, though, you know.
Certainly feels safe there.
Definitely.
He may have felt vulnerable to Widow Anchor.
And
maybe wanted to try to play around it.
Widow Anchor.
And also he knew that Shelmy had jamming waves, which just would have destroyed Deltaros anyway when it took down that Mystical Space Typhoon right there, which we just saw.
Y'all,
so
we are minutes in, and no life points down at all.
No, in fact, Shelmy's life points are up from the skill.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my goodness,
We're going the wrong direction.
So I mean, this could end by deck out with only 3 cards left in Shelmy's deck.
That,
So he's going to use Area 0, get a multi-roll.
It's funny, right now, we're not seeing too much on the field, right? Like, there's nothing we're like, ooh, what's going to happen there? But I'm just like, what's going to happen next?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, jamming waves takes down Needle Sealing. He is clearing out the back row as much as he can.
Yeah.
Ray, I mean, I think he'll eventually be able to poke in for the damage he needs over the next 3 turns if he's not defeated before then. So I don't think we're going to see it end by deck out, but I wouldn't count it out.
Certainly something you don't see every day, especially on the World Championship stage, but activating that Link Dark Ray skill to power it up to 2,300. It's bigger now, so you're right, it might just take an attack or 2 before this duel is over.
You know what's so interesting, too, about the finals is that they can't see each other, right? There's obviously a monitor in front of them, but I just feel like the energy would be so different, right? Like,
yeah, maybe more
you
tense.
can feel the energy of your opponent just like feet away from you, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, Ray's
Really fun.
attack went in, so he is basically one more attack away because the Link Dark Rise, well, not, so he's, yeah, so it could be, that, right? So he's using the, he's using Ray's effect to tribute it, summon Shizuku, and attack directly for 1,500.
200 life points.
Well, 200 life points is still at least more than 0, so you can stick in the game, but you're right that it's starting to close in on Taku's side.
Right, he had already used the skill that turn to increase Ray's attack points, and unfortunately the 2,300 from Ray and 1,500 from Shizuku fell short. But on the next turn, he can attack with Hayate if he's able to link summon it, and Hayate can attack directly through Taku's cards.
Steven, we saw Taku smiling earlier. Change of tune, 100%, right? Like, we can see now he's zoning in. Honestly, looking a little bit shaky, but I mean, who knows what's in his hand, right?
Well, he still hasn't used that awesome rank up skill, so we might actually see the spell played. Maybe that is his way to win, because again, oh, maybe not. Might be setting cards just to get defensive and trying to go for the deck out.
I don't like that. That's making me nervous for him, really.
Yeah, well, still win condition. Time is ticking with that only one card left in the deck, but that is setting yourself up. It's a very delicate house of cards.
Yeah, he really can't summon monsters because he knows Shelmy has Widow Anchor since it was set by the multi-roll, and Widow Anchor will just defeat him faster. So Shelmy's actually going to use the Widow Anchor, it looks like in the end phase, targeting his own Shizuku so that he gets to set jamming waves. Taku is trying to defend himself with the back row cards, and Shelmy needs to win on this turn.
Crackdown
takes Shizuku.
But it also opens up a main monster zone, so now maybe some Sky Striker combos can happen.
Jamming Waves can only target face down cards, so it will destroy the rank up magic, and it's going to take out a Star Seraph monster with it.
I'm going to be honest, though, guys. Shelmy, 5,500 life points. This is going to be a really big battle for Taku.
Yeah, I think it's over because Shelmy has the Ray, so he's able to summon Hayate and attack directly.
And you can see it on Taku's face there, maybe not feeling himself there because, again, all you have to do is, oh, but we're going to the battle phase, so I guess maybe we'll go ahead and activate that effect.
In the battle phase?
In the battle phase, you can.
Both play around Valor, right?
It's very smart there for sure. Don't want to risk anything here at the World Championship.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it really didn't matter. But
oh, it's over.
Direct attack from Hayate does finish it. When you're playing against Sky Striker, you have to be careful because Hayate's attack can finish you off.
Yeah, I saw that from Shelmy. Like, okay, I made it. Feeling himself. But you can't give up just because you're one down. Remember, both of the records of these players are 3 wins, 1 loss. Both of them have felt what it's like to lose on the World Championship, you know, as they got up here, but they still got up here. So they've tasted a little bit of defeat, but they still believe in themselves. And now they've got to select their next deck there. Because again, the rules are 5 different decks, but they've already used that one. So we won't see Sky Striker from one player again, and we won't be seeing the Star Seraphs from the other.
I'm feeling really great vibes right now from Shelmy. I just like, he's smiling. He seems a little bit more relaxed. We got a smile from Taku too, though. So it's the finals, you know? You got to put everything into this. So
I want to point out also, we're not going to see, we're likely not going to see Dark Fluid from Shelmy either because he used Playmaker and I with his Sky Striker deck.
You definitely have layers upon layers upon layers because, again, it's not just about the characters you choose, it's about the skills associated with them. But if you decide to use Playmaker sort of as that bluff with Link Dark Rays, you do take out of your 5-deck combination that very powerful Dark Fluid Dragon that we've seen throughout the weekend. Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid with amazing potential, but not something we're going to see here, at least from him.
Right, there are so many strong decks. You can only choose 5 of them.
I just thought this was a really fun survey response from Shelmy. What do you think are your strengths over other duelists? One word, persistence.
Persistence.
I love that, right?
Hey, well, look, the persistence paid off.
Yeah, certainly. And we are going into Duel 2.
And we've already seen the Magic Shark combo.
Oh, it's you, Belle.
Are we going to hear the epic joke?
That the sharks go hand in hand?
Yes! Oh, you're going to have to say it again. If that happens.
Okay,
thank you, even though we spoiled the joke. But
oh, and it's your favorite deck. Shelby's using your favorite deck.
Oh my gosh. Okay, everybody watching at home, Steven and Kohanam have have been my senseis through this whole Duel Links journey, and I've been playing for a couple months and mainly used Blue Eyes and Unchained. And I was like, I probably won't end up seeing them at the World Championship. But we've had 2 Unchained appearances, so
Absolutely.
I get a little unchained when I see that. Sorry.
That was good. That was better than hand in hand.
I get nervous when I see Unchained, though. I just feel like it's not in the meta right now.
Well, it is clearly because using all these great Unchained resources lets you keep putting cards on the table.
Yes.
But Yubel is a great bluff here. Effectively, we're in the tournament at the point where everyone knows everything, but Yubel also could have been sort of like teasing the Sacred Beast deck, but instead we're seeing this very powerful Fiend deck that everybody really is familiar with on the TCG and Master Duel side, so it's really great to see it on the World Championship stage for Duel Links as well.
Sacred Beast is so scary to me. It's just got massive monsters. It scares me when I see it come out.
And I think that's what he was trying to threaten here, but as you see, Shelmy just working out a different set of Fiends here.
Yep.
And
Shelmy sets Escape, summons Rakia, uses Rakia to destroy Escape, summons the Sarama, uses Sarama to set the trap card, Escape back to his field, and it looks like he is now Link summoning Unchained Soul of Rage.
Rage. Why did I say that so cheerfully? I'm so sorry.
because you love Unchained.
I know, I love this deck, so I feel like they're my babies.
Every duelist is like that, though.
Yeah.
They latch onto a deck, and whether it's devilish fiend monsters like what we're seeing, or it's just happy, cute faces, it doesn't matter. It's your deck. You do love it. And the same thing for a lot of Unchained players at home are probably screaming their heads off, whether they're watching the stream or at their OTS watch parties.
It's so funny. They are devilish fiends. And I'm like, oh, like little devilish fiends.
It's just a cute little dog. Yeah.
Oh, and it looks like Taku is using Sky Striker with the Magic Shark combo skill. So that's really cool because Sky Striker doesn't really have its own skill specific to Sky Strikers, other than the one that puts Engage in the deck, which players aren't really using since they can just main deck Engage.
One of my favorite parts of Unchained is I feel a little bit vulnerable sometimes, but then even if my monster gets destroyed, it just, I'm back, baby, I'm back.
Right.
And that's like my
right
favorite
here.
part.
Speaking of coming back, Unchained Twins Rakia is going to come back from the Unchained Soul of Rage effect. But hey, it's time for Buzzsaw Shark, and there's a lot of Zexal fans that know what this means. It's about to be a lot of materials for a future Xyz summon.
Yep.
So this is just me being silly, but I really love the shark deck just because I like sharks. That's all I gotta say.
Fine. Yeah. A lot of people do fall in love with decks like that.
Look at that. I'm sorry. This monster is so cool. Hey, right hand.
Right hand Shark with Buzzsaw Shark, make Bahamut Shark.
I love
and
Bahamut
then
Shark.
Bahamut Shark's effect is going to special summon a number 47 Nightmare Shark to the field.
So we didn't see the left-hand shark, so they aren't hand in hand, but they may be
No?
fin in fin as you go into the next one. But this time we're not seeing a shark, we're seeing
Ooh,
Desperado.
Taku.
This could be it.
This could be it.
Wow.
What? Yeah.
And a direct attack. There's a lot of things in Duel Links that could stop a direct attack from the hand. Do we have anything?
He does
don't.
not.
So it's all tied up 1-1.
1-1.
Shelmy being clapped back at by Taku. We've got ourselves a match here with applause from the crowd.
Shelmy said he was persistent, though. I don't think he's giving up. We've seen a lot of positive energy from him. Taku, though, I'm sure thrilled to get that to be 1-1. It does not feel good if you're down 2 duels.
Yeah, that deck was really cool actually,
Yeah.
because combining Sky Striker with the Sharks is not
Super
a
cool.
traditional strategy.
Yeah.
Using Sky Striker cards there. And there we saw he didn't even open with the right or left hand Shark, which is typically how you want to use the skill, to send one from your hand to the graveyard and then send the other from the deck to the graveyard, so you can special summon both and make a rank 4 without special summoning. But because he had the Buzzsaw Shark, he was able to special summon Bahamut Shark and then use its effect and rank up. He was able to still win in just a single turn.
And it's a reminder the Buzzsaw Shark is still really good, even after all these years.
Also, talk about the pace change there, right? That first duel, that was grindy, right? A little bit slower. This one, over in a flash.
Yeah,
I was talking about how much I loved Unchained and Sharks. The next thing I knew, it was over.
Yeah, that one was real quick.
It was a speed duel after all, but
Yeah.
we are in for a couple of more games at least. Again, now that it's
Yeah.
1-1, one of these duels is going to have to win 2 in order to claim that coveted World Championship trophy.
You know what's interesting? Now we're 1-1, and I definitely feel like we have felt the intensity rise here. You know, they're kind of like smiles, a little jokey in the beginning, which is great. That's a great way to go in the finals, right? You don't want to go in super serious and uptight, but now you can tell we're getting closer and closer, and they're like, okay, we gotta go, dude. I'm so excited for them. Sorry, I'm like geeking out so hard over here.
And you should. It is the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship. What are you going to save this for? Tomorrow? It won't be the championship.
I'm like, who's
You got to
take
spend it. All of
Yeah.
your dueling energy, and our competitors have to do just the same. As we open up with a Varian Battle Morph skill there from
This time.
Shelmy.
Ooh, Sherry.
Oh, Sherry LeBlanc for Taku.
I thought you were going to sing this song. Oh, we're not allowed to do that. Never mind.
Don't worry, but some really good stuff as we see the Revolution des Fleurs skill, which has allowed duelists to have so much creativity using Necro des Fleurs and everything else, but it looks like we're going to see the Infernoble Knight build of this.
Yep.
Infernoble Knight's very popular right now.
Yeah, so he's it's usually paired with this skill, but Taku got the great start of summoning Ogier and using it to send Excalibur into the graveyard, and then he had the Renaud in his hand to special summon. Then the Revolution de Fleur skill allows him to send a card from his hand to his deck to summon the Necro Synchron from his deck, and then it allows him to also lower the level of a monster on his field by up to 2. So this is an amazing fixer to let you summon synchro monsters of all sorts of levels. He goes for Haster, as we've seen previously in the tournament, tuning with the Necro Synchron to summon a wind monster, allows him to special summon the Glow Up Bulb, which he then tunes with to make Captain Roland, and then he sends Captain Roland to the graveyard with the other part of the skills effect to summon Sorcier de Fleur. And now he has the level 8 non-tuner, level 1 tuner, and he is able to make Emperor Charles.
So, Steven, correct me if I'm wrong here, but when we were doing our homework, I believe you told me that if you go up against this deck, get ready for your opponent to turn your whole deck against you.
It really can, because one of the other monsters that's commonly played in this that we've seen throughout the tournament is Immortal Phoenix Gearfried, but you also get to search out great cards like Battle in Boxer Veil. So basically, wherever you want to be, you really can't go. You try to figure something out, no, you're going to have your cards negated or destroyed by all these great different Fire Warrior effects, and don't forget that the equip spells have effects too, so it is a really tricky maze to navigate through.
Yeah, so in the end phase, he gets to put the Excalibur on it, which will stop it from being targeted by card effects. He puts Gravity Axe on it so that monsters can't change battle positions. He puts Roland on it as well, and this is using the effect of both Emperor Charles and the level 5 Synchro he summoned earlier. And then, since the Roland equipped to the Emperor Charles, he's able to destroy Roland and use its effect to search for a monster.
Steven, I think right now Taku's in a great position. Am I wrong?
No, you're not. He really is in a strong start, but remember with Shelmy playing Dumont, we've seen how cool it is to be able to get those Xyz materials out pretty easily. We haven't really used the skill yet. We're just going ahead and just using it the old-fashioned way, getting out Seraph Scout and also Star Seraph Sovereignty there.
Wow, he started with the Scepter and 2 Sovereignty.
Yeah, he's got it.
Love to see
Wow,
that.
and this is going to force Taku to equip Captain Roland to Emperor Charles to try to destroy a card. Because if Shelmy is able to successfully Xyz summon using that Scepter in a 3-material Xyz summon, he can destroy the Excalibur.
Well, the Knights are going to
I
have to
said that
protect
it looked good
themselves.
for Taku, and now
Yeah,
I'm
but
like, oh no.
Shelmy hasn't used he used the normal summon, but hasn't used the skill. So he might actually he could use the skill. Well, it depends what's in his hand. He might be able to use the skill to get a scout and then special summon from his hand.
Oh, but
doesn't
looks
look
like
like
not.
he has it though. So he's
I'm
just
trying to
setting 2
predict
cards
what
to
was
his
going
back
on there,
row.
and I'm like, no, that wasn't what I was anticipating at all.
Just looks like some defensive play. Now, neither of
Yeah.
these duelists is going home if they happen to lose this one duel, but speaking of Immortal Phoenix Gearfried, this is where it gets really tricky because
Cool
not only can
card.
it use equip spells as a way to negate the activation of effects and destroy them, it can also just take monsters and turn them into equip spells for more food for the same.
Oh, Taku, your front line looks so nice right now. I'd be feeling so confident.
Well, there's still those 2
it's
face
dueling,
downs.
so then as soon as you're feeling confident, then you're like, wait, aw.
Well, Shelmy cannot target the Emperor Charles with the face down cards due to the effect of Excalibur.
By the way, Emperor Charles, one of our favorite names. Steven only calls him Charles.
Yeah,
so.
just Charles. We're on a first-name basis
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And then he equips Ogier as well, so that the equipped monster can't be destroyed by card effects, and Emperor Charles gets to activate its effect to destroy a card on the field. He's going for a back row, and it's Crackdown.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Certainly difficult there if you are cheering for Shelmy, right? Every one of these plays is a heartbreaker because on one side, you're like, wow, that person's doing really good. And on the other side, you're like, oh, I wouldn't want to be experiencing that. But you just have to cheer for the person who is doing well because it is their moment.
Yeah, when someone gets my crackdown off the field, I'm furious.
Oh, I know.
I'm like,
it's such a good card.
No.
Oh, and I should have pointed out before, the Gravity Axe is actually sort of just shutting down the skill because it prevents the flip summoning of the monsters that the skill sets face down.
So it makes for a really great counterplay.
Yeah, so he actually could not have sent a monster to the graveyard, gotten the scout, and then flip summoned it to get another monster on the field. So that is the cool tech choice of that Gravity Axe.
It's such a very old card from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, but just doing massive amounts of intelligent work here. Well, looks like we were taking a moment to think, trying to figure out where we're going next.
Hey, you take your time. You're in the finals. I would be afraid to do anything. But then with Duel Links, you have the counter, the dreaded counter.
Well,
so
it looks like they don't have a counter
moves.
here. They've got plenty of time to just kind of play as they are content. But still, it's that pressure, it's that experience. 932 people watching through the games app, and all the viewers at home around the world.
Go too long, That's funny.
Takuma summons Renaud. It looks like he just wants to get more monsters on the field, so he's actually going to link away the monster he just summoned.
Okay.
And looks like it's Ferocious Flame Swordsman.
He must have a way to get more monsters on the field, otherwise I don't think he would have bothered with that.
Okay, here we go.
Taku's probably going to try to clear some of these defense cards out of the way.
Seems like it's that time.
Sublimation Knight.
The most regal names with Infernal Knights, right? Love it.
That is royalty.
And he'll equip it with the Ogier.
Oh, looking real good for Taku right now.
This gives him just enough clearance on attack points for that Sublimation Knight to go ahead and attack through the 2,000 defense. But there's a little pause here, meaning we may have an activatable spell or trap face down.
That one card in the corner has me thinking.
Well, it's not going to be activated just yet. So Charles goes after the next monster here, our Infernoble Knight Emperor.
Okay, direct attack. It went through. Down 1,800 for Shelmy. All right, we're moving here. I feel like right now the momentum's with Taku for sure.
Yeah, because Shelmy needs to find a way to either get rid of the Gravity Axe so he can effectively use his skill, or get rid of the Excalibur so he can target the strongest monster on the field.
So how will Shelmy go about doing that if he can?
The Scout's a good start because it allows him to special summon. If he can use another Scout, that perhaps could allow him to get a third monster on the field, but he has to have all the right cards to be able to do that. He's going for the scale.
Double scales here.
Oh,
one scale led to another.
He did get 3 monsters out.
Look at him thinking right now. I love it. He's like reading out loud, you know, like making sure he's got his process down right.
Being careful, got to check that extra deck.
Be careful,
Whatever card it is that comes out, I mean, you can't take that back. So this is destiny being decided right now as he considers his options.
Totally.
Obviously, a lot of great choices, but he can only pick one.
Oh, I love how methodical he's being. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So the Scout summoned the scale summoned the scale, but again, he doesn't have a Scepter out, so he doesn't have a way to destroy a card just from the Xyz summon. He can make Delta Roast, but he can only destroy one of those back row cards if he does that. So I'm trying to think, what is he going to summon?
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of options there as he considers it, but Taku just kind of have to wait his turn out there until Shelmy brings something out. Looks like we were
Taku's feeling great. Taku's like, look at my front line right now. I got a whole back row. Like, we're sitting pretty, to say the least. But again, we never know what Shelmy has up his sleeve. So, Xyz summoning, here we go.
He's going for a 2-material Xyz monster. Is it Photon Popula Operative? Which players
that was awesome that you were able to say that.
I probably said it wrong. Which players typically use to rank up using the rank up magic from that they get from the skill. So we're seeing that now. Barry and Battle Morph.
Protector Barian World definitely going to give you some great stuff there. Star Seraph Sage.
So the Sage will stay face down, but the rank up magic Barian's Force is going
we're playing it right away.
Yep,
here we go.
Rank up that monster.
So we are building the overlay network here.
Now we know what Shelmy was thinking about for so long, right?
Well, it definitely takes a little bit of time to figure out how you're going to put a new monster on the field and which Xyz monster you're going to give up for this ultimate Leo Topia Ray.
Totally.
Its effect will activate. He'll equip it and raise its attack points to 6,000.
Big enough. But now Ray activates its effect.
A monster was equipped. Does Emperor Charles work when any monster is equipped?
Charles.
What just happened?
Charles is the Emperor for a reason. Or remember that Shelmy might have known that and he's just using that to basically get set up and ending his turn with 3 defense mode monsters in order to keep things up.
That hurts so bad. If I was Shelmy, I'd be so mad that got stolen from me.
But Shelmy isn't. Shelmy just sort of saying, okay, I'm still in here. I haven't lost yet.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, I just checked the text. Emperor Charles will activate to destroy a monster on the field, a card on the field when any monster is equipped. Doesn't have to be your own monster.
Definitely a Duel Academy test there, and unfortunately may not have passed the exam.
Yeah, oh man.
Now all 3 of those monsters are just face down, can't change battle positions. He really wasn't able to fight through anything.
No.
We're going to our next Link summon here. Let's see what we've got. Nightmare Phoenix to destroy the face down, just to make this a safer play.
Book of Moon can't be used to target Emperor Charles. Ogier is being returned from the graveyard, equipping so that Emperor Charles can activate.
Oh, and here comes Sage de Fleur.
I'm still shocked at Emperor Charles. That was fierce. I mean, when that card's out, I would be just scared, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's the equip spells that make it so
it's done.
strong.
Talking about Emperor Charles, everybody. There we go.
So now,
Charles,
Taku,
just Charles.
just Charles, just Charles. Charles and Ray, right? First names only. But here's the thing. Speaking of names, Taku is only 1 win away from being declared world champion.
So cool. Man, it ain't over for Shelmy. It ain't over for
absolutely
Shelmy.
not.
Exactly. What a great finals this is turning out to be.
Yeah, that Emperor Charles destroying a card when the opponent equipped a monster really threw me off.
Oh, that was...
Because you don't see that a lot.
You do not see that a lot.
It looked like his really strong monster was going to attack and end the duel, but no, forgot about Emperor Charles' effect. 3, with his whole own back row filled, it could still activate on the opponent's equip.
Well, Shelby showing a little humility there, just thinking, okay, I know what it is that I'm going to do next. He's got 2 decks left. He still has 2 more chances here.
Yeah.
But it's going to take 2 wins in a row, because if Taku takes one of these games, we have decided our Speed Duel world champion.
What a good sport, though. Like, that move happened, and all 3 of us were like, what? And like you said, Shelby just kind of reacted with a smile, laid down his cards in defense. So he's like, hey, it ain't over. The persistence we talked about, right? So
Yeah, he had to keep trying.
Yeah. Man, no, I really like these duels. We had one that was short and fast, one with the shark. And then the first one was a grind, definitely more methodical. That one's kind of a mix. It was fun, though.
Yeah,
and some
this one was
surprises.
cool.
Yeah. Wonder what's going to happen next.
Oh, no telling.
I wonder what decks they're going to use, because I think you want to use the deck you think is strongest here, because it could be your last duel.
It absolutely could be. So it looks like we are seeing Trace versus Playmaker. Trace using the Hope-Filled Chronomaly skill from that brand new Zexal Ace character campaign recently happened. Now we're seeing Dark Fluid Link.
Dark Fluid Link from Taku.
Michael, because Chronomaly, we were both shocked when we saw that.
Yes, this deck was really not on my radar, but it got a couple of good cards in the latest Speed Duel main box.
Oh, Ray of Aura, yeah.
Yeah, and Ray of Aura, and that has apparently catapulted it to the finals of the World Championship.
Well, it does help
And
with those
Ixie's
figures
a deck again, correct? Yeah.
So
get those materials.
Yep, so there's Hope-Filled Chronomaly. He sends the new level 5 from the latest main box to the graveyard, loads up the extra deck with some more Xyz monsters, and then this new monster, Chronomaly and Akambaro figure.
Very nice.
Akambaro figures will...
That was good.
Yeah, it's pronouncing.
Yeah.
From the graveyard, you can pay 1,000 life points to special summon it, and part of the skill also allows you to send an Xyz monster from your extra deck to the graveyard to make all of your monsters match the level. Make all the monsters on your field have a level matching the rank of the sent monster. So he's doing that now to send a rank 4 monster from his extra deck to his graveyard and make all the monsters on his field level 4.
So goodbye Utopia, but what do we need those rank 4 materials for? Let's see what we Xyz summon here as we build up the overlay network. And we're going to showcase...
I'm waiting.
Oh, it's number 36, Chronomaly Chateau. Huyuk.
This is a strong start, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. No, being able to have
getting the materials he wants.
great Xyz monsters, good defenses. You were playing against the ropes.
Love
Notice
that
we
back
talked
row.
about conservative play.
Yeah.
And the Akambaro figures did come back as well.
Yeah, this is actually one of the 4 Xyz monsters added to the extra deck by the skill, so you don't need to include it in your deck.
Oh, nice.
Gives you a lot more deck flexing capability, but since Playmaker is going second here with that Dark Fluid Link skill, 5 cards just got banished, and each of them can be special summoned. So don't worry, Yu-Gi-Oh! Judges at home. These monsters, they are being treated as being legally summoned, despite the fact that they were banished from the game.
Chronomaly Esperanza Glyph is another new card from the latest main box, and it has a really cool effect that lets you target an Xyz monster in your graveyard or that you control and special summon 2 Chronomaly monsters that are a level higher than its rank, and then immediately use them in an Xyz summon. So this is a 1-card Xyz summon.
Okay.
And since the Utopia is in the graveyard from the skill, now he's also able to summon Chronomaly Vinama.
There's our big bad. There is our big bad. And correct me if I'm wrong, Chronomaly Vimana uses materials to negate opponents' effects, correct?
Correct. So it can
Okay.
use 2 materials to negate effects, but also has another effect
Oh.
that allows it to gain materials.
Oh.
So Chronomaly duelists often use Vimana to sort of control the field, make it so that the most important card effects that the opponent tries to use get negated.
It
We're
can
seeing that
also
exactly
increase
now.
its attack points too, or
It is able
okay.
to increase its attack points as well as part of the effect that also gains the material.
That's a fearsome card to have out there, so great for Shelmy.
Definitely seeing all that come into play now. Again,
Yeah.
that Link Slayer being negated, trying to destroy some of the spell and traps, and stealing a material there to make itself even more pumped up and gaining that attack. But we are seeing Firewall Guardian hit the field, so we still have plenty of plays. As you know, some people call this deck like the Cyber's Pile deck, right? A stack of Cyber's monsters that whatever you draw, you're able to Link summon something. So Taku probably thinking which of those great Link monsters are going to summon next. Popular options have been things like Cyber's Wicked, Cyber's Witch, but no telling. He's the one in the driver's seat here.
Oh,
What's this up?
Shelmy has the trap card Barrage Blast. It is
Okay.
a continuous trap card that actually lets you detach materials from machines. And
Interesting.
however many you detach, you can destroy that many cards.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's the perfect
Oh,
option here.
no.
Detach 2 to destroy the 2 Link
Yeah.
materials.
He is not letting Taku use that Firewall Guardian in a Link summon.
Or is he? Because we're seeing the Signet Crosswipe at least clear one of those cards off the field to get rid of that continuous trap and therefore prevent it from ever resolving. So while there's still just the 1 card there, it's better than having 0 unless
But Shelmy is
puts it down.
Book-a-Moon!
What?
Taku has no face-up monsters if this resolves, which it does. He can't Link summon unless he can somehow
Yeah.
get more monsters onto the field.
But he can if he has any of the cards commonly played in this deck that allow you to special summon banished monsters. As I said earlier, any of those cards could get you back in the game. By themselves, maybe
Oh
not
my
strong, but at
goodness.
least a chance.
That's pretty much just different dimension reincarnation at this point because he has 3 cards in his graveyard.
Shelmy's smiling,
Ah,
by the
you're
way.
right.
Shelby's like, I'm in a good place.
He used everything he had, and it looks like it was exactly enough.
Oh man, what's Taku gonna do now?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different options. If he did have that different dimension reincarnation, he could special summon a Cyber's Quantum Dragon and use that
Okay.
to bounce at least one of those cards off the field, but that's not exactly the strongest option, is it?
I think if he had it, he would have played it already.
Oh, the confidence of a duelist in the World Championship. Just slap it on the table.
Yeah. You thought you had exactly enough, but no.
Yeah.
There's one more card.
Yeah,
But-
he's definitely trying to ponder an escape plan here for sure. Man, yo, are we gonna see 5?
I think we
5
might see
duels?
it. Go to game
We
5.
might, and I hope we do, because the more speed duels we see, the happier I am.
Hey, don't count your
Aw.
duels before they're done now.
Yeah,
No, definitely
exactly.
not.
True. We don't know what Taku's cooking up here, so we'll see. I do feel like Shelmy, there's definitely a massive amount of momentum behind him right now. Taku's got to find some way to switch the flip here. Flip the switch? Flip the switch.
Ah,
Not
switch the flip works, yeah, because you yeah,
Y'all know what I
fine.
meant. That was funny.
But he is considering his options very carefully here.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. The sign of a duelist in the World Championship stage is even when you're winning, you don't just magically start to lose your cool. So not trying to seize this moment and force the victory, but going to go ahead and play that Signet rollback to special summon. And it is the Cyber's Quantum Dragon.
He got that with his skill because he was second. So that's a nice perk of going second when using this skill. And he is getting that Synchro Monster you referred to earlier. It can return whatever he attacks to the extra deck. But doesn't have the attack points needed to destroy the other monster by battle. So it's not it may be the best thing he can do, but I don't think it's really enough to put him back.
He doesn't look thrilled.
So using the material to go ahead and drop the monster attack to 0, but it still bounces, so nothing to worry about there. Play passes back over to Shelmy. Let's see what he's got as he continues to fight for his tournament career.
Yeah, and do what you can, right? He did what he could. So.
Yep, he brings back in Kambaro figures by spending another 1,000 life points. If he can get another monster on the field, that's another Xyz summon no matter what the level, because the skill will fix the levels by sending an Xyz monster from the extra deck to the
He
graveyard.
must be feeling confident. You know, reducing your life points by 1,000, that's not like 500 or 100 life points.
Ain't no pain, no gain.
So
Yeah, true.
he brings back the Chronomaly Nebra disc, and now he's Xyz summoning Chronomaly.
Vimana.
Yes.
Okay,
Vimana.
so he has 2 of those on the field?
He
Now
does.
he
They're
has
going attack
2.
mode.
Ouch. That's definitely going to hurt.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Going for the attack to force the activation and then maybe negating it with the effect there and then possibly
Interesting.
continuing from there. But it forces the play. Shelmy asks the question, how will Taku answer?
Yes, but Vimana's effect can activate to increase its attack points and gain an Xyz
Good
material.
point. Yeah.
And then if he uses that effect,
The
he'll be able
attack
to
boost here.
Yeah, he'll be able to destroy the Cyber's Quantum Dragon in battle.
So not only getting that activation, but being able to clear the threshold and picking that giant Utopia there that was added from the skill. Great use of the monster since it could be summoned later.
So funny because Chronomaly wasn't really in the meta, but every time I've seen Chronomaly, the Vimana card is just
Oh,
nasty.
so good.
Yeah.
The skill pushes this over the edge. That Zexal campaign really changed the playing field of this tournament.
Wow.
And there's the face-down firewall monster that he had put there with Book of Moon. So Taku had no opportunity to use it in a Link Summon to use its effect and bring it back.
Okay, let's hope Taku drew something awesome here.
Yeah,
Because he needs the momentum to shift.
Yeah, well, in the draw phase, Shelmy is going to use the effect of, it looks like at least one Vimana, which will increase the monster's attack points for the turn and give it that second material. He'll chain the other one. They both have 2 Xyz materials. They have once per turn effects, but each of them can use their effect once per turn by detaching 2 materials, which means he has 2 monster effect negations right now on the field.
Taku has his work cut out for him as he'd have to play through multiple effects there, summoning Link Disciple at first, maybe going to push the Firewall Guardian just to kind of ask again another question. Are you going to use the negate on that?
Shelmy very well might, because he does have 2 effect negations. So I think cutting him off here and cutting him off on whatever the next effect is
Okay, take me to
likely
the
will
brain
end
of
it.
Taku right now. Like, what can he do to combat this right now?
Other than ask, let it resolve, bestie, he has to just continue to play more cards.
He needs 3 good monster effects.
3 good
Okay.
monster
Or
effects.
some good spells or traps.
Oh, Taku.
Because
Shrug
now,
of the shoulders there.
yeah, the first one got negated with 2 Vimanas on the field, both of which could negate a monster effect. I think it was an easy call to stop the Firewall Guardian.
Ugh. You getting 2 Vimanas out in the field, and I mean, you got to be feeling pretty confident at that point, I feel like. So.
Yeah, that's what this deck wants to do.
Oh, but wait, there's
Oh,
more.
he has a different dimension reincarnation.
Oh, and what an interesting play line there. So many duelists at home probably thinking, oh, you could activate Signet Mining instead. Really 2 different directions here, but we're bringing back Firewall Dragon to co-link to the Link Disciple.
Now, if he uses his effect to try to return a card, the Vimana will negate it.
But it won't have materials.
It will be out of materials, but Firewall Dragon actually has 2 few attack points to defeat it in battle. So I'm curious to see where he goes from here.
Hey, it's something though. You know, like we said, take what you can. You know, a little momentum shift, not drastic, but take what you can. We're happy to see that for him. So. 2,500 attacks, not bad. But then you're looking at the 2 Vimanas right now
my
with
goodness,
3,200 and 2,800. I'm just like, ouch.
He is using the Firewall Dragon's effect, and Vimana is negating it. So all he can really do now is make a Link 2.
No, ouch.
But he apparently does not have a relevant enough Link 2 monster, so he's just going to end his turn, and the Vimanas are back in the driver's
It's looking
seat.
like we're going to 5, Pete.
We are going to 5, though.
Yeah.
That's exciting again
Yep.
for the Speed Duel World
is.
Championship to go the distance. Both of these players, heroes in their own right, but only one will be crowned today.
Yep, Vimana attacks the Link Disciple, uses effect to increase its attack points, and that should end it.
Hey, Chronomaly Vimana, I saw that come out, and Michael, I just gave you the biggest smile. I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
bad things are going to happen when the Chronomaly comes out.
Yeah,
Vimana.
So applause from the crowd.
Yes.
We know the characters from the in-game app. What 2 characters are left?
Okay, let's see here. Let's do our homework here.
Just to see what it is that we can
Okay.
preview for this final
Yeah, because
duel.
we're down to 5 duels here. So we saw Sherry, didn't we?
We did see Sherry.
We saw Playmaker I.
We saw Playmaker Ike, yep.
We saw Dumont.
We did.
We saw Ubel.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I love that we're doing this right
Hey,
now.
just it's like playing bingo.
Did we see a Dumont for Shelmy?
Believe so.
Yes,
So that
Okay.
so both
means
players play Dumont. I think
Are we
we're
down
going to see
Varys,
Shelmy.
Varys, or no?
I think
No?
we're going to see Shelmy play Borreload Link
Okay.
with Varys.
I'm
and that
sorry.
means Taku is
Are we
going to be
gonna have-
playing.
I'm waiting for y'all to confirm.
Wait, did we see? I don't think we. No, we just did. Okay. Is it that?
I
we
think
saw Revolution.
We're trying to predict behind the desk, but forget that.
We're
going
gonna
into
see
Game
a
5 of
mirror
the World
moment.
Championship.
It is.
I should have told you that. I
Well,
was like, I think we're going to see Borreload versus Borreload.
It's not quite a mirror
potentially.
match because one of them is using Link Dark Ray.
Oh,
wow.
Oh my gosh.
So the only reflection of the mirror you see is a duelist using a different deck. He just happens to look the same.
Skills. Okay.
So yeah, just like our duelists are wearing the same clothes, it doesn't mean they're the same person. They're using completely different strategies, and we're going to see which of this pays off. Again, this is the final game of the Speed Duel World Championship.
Big brain me here. So these are different skills. What are you anticipating here?
I'm anticipating Sky Striker from the Link Dark Ray skill.
Okay.
So that would be from Taku, and where we saw the Borreload Link skill from Shelmy. So we can expect a Link-based deck from Shelmy that's going to rely on that skill.
Speaking of Links, the circuit is manifested here as we are seeing our first Link summon, Sky Striker
There's
Ace
our girl.
Everybody's favorite.
Aw. And the three of us were doing so much studying, and we were so focused on the Borreload Link deck. I mean, that's a very popular and powerful deck right now.
Certainly is, but here's the thing. We're doing our best just to keep up with the best duelists in the world, these two gentlemen on stage, and there is no telling what is going to happen now. Shizuku goes ahead, adds the Sky Striker, but a
very
limited.
weak start. Just link into Shizuku, search for engage in the end phase, and nothing to protect him.
Other than the raid that might come out next turn, pretty much.
And the Sky Striker, a little bit slower, more methodical deck, correct?
Yes. But I don't know how slow this is going to be.
Yeah, because at any moment, that might be it.
Borreload Link skill activates. He reveals the Borreload Riot Dragon, sends 2 cards from his deck to the graveyard. Looks like a
Double Disruption Dragon? Oh no, discarding that to get the Exploder Rocket Dragon.
Oh, I'm sorry, all those dragons, such great attack, such great effects.
Oh, and what an ace there, setting the Seiyaryu there. Wow, what a blast from the past.
We usually see Blue Eyes played instead.
Hey, maybe it's his favorite monster when he gets to play it.
Seiyaryu better. And then he's going to banish the Double Disruptor Dragon that he had sent to the graveyard. And that'll allow him to get either the Rapid Trigger or Heavy Interlock. He chooses Heavy Interlock. I think this is actually going to be hard for Taku to survive.
Both duelists waiting with bated breath, but Taku's sitting with his hands clasped together, just hoping that he gets to see the next turn with the monsters that he has. Shelmy calculating his brain what he's going to do.
He did start with 5,500 life points due to the Link Dark Rays effect, so that might be what saves him here. But it looks like, you know, Shelmy was able to use the skill. He had the level 7 or higher monster to reveal.
A little padding, though, it might help, you know? We'll be positive. Man, y'all, we're to 5 duels right now.
And this could end at any moment.
Yeah.
Shelmy normal summons the Exploder Rocket since its total stats are equal to 4,000. And then with the 2 dark monsters on the field, he can summon Galactic Spiral Dragon. Since there's a monster on Taku's field, he's able to use his skill to place Quad Boral Dragon onto his field. And if he wants to, he can use its effect to just destroy Shizuku and allow Taku to bring back the Ray.
Man, Shelmy looking really strong right now.
He chooses not to. I think he's just going for, is that going to be a Boral Sword? It's going to be a Link 4.
A lot of different arrows that we could be pointing
to. Could be a
Let's see what we got.
Dragon.
Link the circuit. Oh, yeah, there is Borreload Dragon.
Borreload Dragon. So
looking good for Shelmy, for sure.
And what a great animation here. Kind of give you just a moment to breathe as a duelist and think about, okay, this monster is here to protect me.
My heart's sinking a little bit.
Well,
Taku
here's the thing, because Taku knows that Sky Striker Ace Ray would protect you if it was destroyed by battle, but Borreload Dragon has the ability to steal players' monsters when it attacks. It gives it that ability to attack through it.
And it keeps coming. He's using the Heavy Interlock, and he's going to get rid of Chaos Dragon Levineer, a strong card, to tribute for a Ritual Summon and summon Borreload Riot Dragon. I don't think he would have done that unless he was confident it's going to be over this turn.
Shelmy thinking he's going in. A Ritual Summon, a Link Summon, all kinds of different game card mechanics happening here as Varus may be taking the World Championship under Shelmy's guidance.
Shelmy just building an army of dragons right here. It looks really tough for Taku.
He carefully places the Riot Dragon in a zone that's not linked to Borreload Dragon, so that Borreload Dragon's effect can take control of Shizuku, and attacks from all the monsters will end it.
Shelmy already smiling here.
Off his headset.
Taku knows what it is that's going on. These duelists have been playing for years. They know exactly what it is. Shelby knows that he is the world champion of the Speed Duel Links Championship.
Shelby, our next Speed Duel champion. Let's give him a round of applause. It's still attacking. I'm like, oh man.
He's that good, he knows he can take his hand off the duel disc because again, Shelby is your world champion for Speed Duels. And what a series though, Taku walking it back and forth, but unfortunately it was not to be.
Oh, Shelby, I'm getting emotional. This is so exciting.
But look at the sportsmanship there.
Yes.
Shelby taking the time to shake hands with Taku there, knowing how hard both of them
And Taku, fabulous job. He was exceptional, but man, this is Shelby's moment to shine, holding up that trophy, putting that fist in the air. Let's go.
So triumphant there. Shelby, always, you know, a great competitor. Anytime he lost a game, anytime he walked into his opponent's traps, he smiled because smiling was the tenacity he needed to get through.
And remember what we said earlier, he said that it's all about persistence. And man, we went to 5 Kohanum.
He persisted.
You've been to the World Championship stage. Can you imagine what it feels like up there?
I can only imagine, Steven, because I've never made it that far.
Hey, there's always next year, but for Shelby, it's this year because Shelby is your world champion again. There's no taking that away from him.
Hard fought and well deserved. I mean, honestly, looking back at all 5 of those duels, they were so fun to watch. We saw so many incredible decks, all of them paced completely differently. I mean, honestly, that last duel really stuck out to me. It was just like Shelby had the momentum, he had the energy, came out with that Borolo deck and just dominated.
Inspirational.
Yeah,
just inspirational.
It was awesome. And I'm so happy it went to 5 duels, so we got to see all 5 of both players' decks in action.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Hopefully that inspired some duelists at home because it shows you that even if you're down and out, just hang in there. You might be the world champion before you know it, but just such an electric series of duels. And it shows you how diverse the Speed Duel format is right now. We've got more decks and more packs coming along the way, but like
we saw an Unchained.
Yeah, Unchained.
Yes.
You didn't expect that. You didn't believe. Unchained is good. There's so much cool stuff out there.
So if viewers at home, if you have a favorite archetype, favorite deck, there's a good chance it is a competitive deck in Duel Links because there are so many. So you should check it out.
You know what's so interesting, though, is that, you know, all 3 of us were studying the meta so hard, but in the end, we saw people bringing out the Chronomaly deck, right? Like, it's what speaks to you, and then sometimes we're like, oh, an unusual monster, but that speaks to that duelist, right?
Everybody likes to put their own spin on the game. It's a lot of creative expression because with so many thousands of cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! And in Speed Duel having a deck limit of about 20 to 30 cards, it's just one of those things where, like, you have to be the one in the driver's seat. You have to make those choices.
Yeah.
So speaking of choices, we probably should hear from a champion, right?
Yes, I cannot wait to hear from Shelby. Kangas, let's hear this interview. Woo!
Thank you very much, casters. I am on stage with Sebastian, aka Shelby, our Victor World Champion for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Speed Duel. Congratulations. I want to start off by asking, what does it mean to you to win this trophy on this stage?
Means a lot. I was playing dueling since 2017, and when I was a kid, and this is something big for me.
Fantastic.
優勝おめでとうございます。この決勝の舞台で、このトロフィーを持ったことは、自分にとってどういう意味を持ちますかという質問に関しまして、彼は2017年からデュエルリンクスをプレイしており、その初めてこの舞台に立ちこのトロフィーを持つことは彼にとって大きな意味を持つと申しております。
Now, this is not your first time at Worlds. You were here last year, so I want to ask, what did you learn last year? What lessons did you pick up that helped you today to win this championship?
Training. I didn't train the last year at all. I just came here with my decks.
Training being the big difference maker from last year to this year.
そうですね。今年が2回目の世界大会の出場となりますが、それに関しての準備など、教えていただけますかという質問に関しまして、もうひたすら練習あるのみで、もう自分の信じるデッキと一緒にやってきたと言っております。
final question for you. What message do you have for your supporters out there and for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Speed Duel community?
I wanted to say thank you to Crimson D, the one that helped me training like a week. He helped me a lot to choose my decks, to pick my decks. And I hope this game continues for the Duel Links community so we can come here more years to hang out and play more worlds.
この配信を見ている、応援してくれている人たちと、そしてデュエルリンクス全体に何か言いたいことはございますかという質問に関しまして、自分の練習やいろいろ尽くそってくれた仲間にありがとうと言いたいところと一緒に、デュエルリンクス全体に、デュエルリンクス自体が続くことでこれからもプレイし続けていきたいと言っております。
Congratulations once again, Sebastian, our world champion for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Speed Duel. And now we're going to send it back over to the casters.